A big ass bug just slammed into my window here. It was like
An
this big.
ass bug?
An ass bug, yeah.
Oh
A
my
butt
god.
cheek.
I don't want to know what the splatter is
I
on the
slapped
window.
my window.
To the window. Just don't. No, I'm not playing you. See, I was singing there, obviously.
I thought you were playing an
Just
artist.
asked if we were playing music.
Yeah.
So you're welcome for that, everybody. And welcome, by the way. Not just you're welcome. Welcome. You are welcome to the Glaziar Gambol podcast this week. And
we thank them for our content before they even see it. You're welcome.
Yeah. You got to be proud. You got to be just a dick.
Proud
anyway,
dick.
You are welcome here. And we're going to talk to you about some stuff in Marvel, like She-Hulk and other things. And Joe has an idea for a little segment he wants to do. So let's do that.
Okay. So I'm calling it I thought of a couple things.
Okay.
I thought of calling it like impromptu CU. Impromptu, but I can't. I went up to like impromptu universe. Okay. So here, let me get a random number generator here.
Okay.
Real quick, and we're gonna do from 1 to 8. Okay. So I got four characters that I'm going to give you, and you have to just spur of the moment give me their name, give me their powers, and like how they got their powers. Okay. All right.
Name,
you get it?
powers, how they got their powers.
Or how they got their powers and then their powers or something like that. All right.
Okay.
All right. So first one is going to be Dr. Elephant.
So Dr. Harry LaFant. He was actually an explorer and a writer. He wrote novels. And
Harry LaFant. We're writing this down. I'm like, this is gold.
And
copyright it.
While he liked to explore where he wrote about. So he's very passionate about traveling and animals.
Sure. And
once on one of his safaris where he was looking at non-lethal, he wasn't there to kill, just to write about,
to study,
photograph study.
Sure.
While he was there, he got trampled by a group of elephants and was just left for dead. Most people are dying on impact. He didn't, because plot armor. Right. And he was taken by a group of local people there, and they took him in, treated him to some medicine, and he needed blood transfusions.
I should have started all this with how they joined the MCU. This is how I
but no blood transfusions. That was just a Morbius joke.
Right.
But yeah,
put the hand out to a bunch of elephants running at him.
But anyway, the herd of elephants, during their treatment, some of things they were doing local rituals, and the herd of elephants that trampled him, which we will later find out in his story, was actually being chased by a poacher villain.
Craven,
maybe that's how he gets into the MCU.
Seems like a Sony property.
So the elephants didn't mean to trample him.
Right.
Harry LaFant, Dr. Harry LaFant.
Right.
Yeah. And so the elephants felt for him. They thought for him. They're cognizant, super thoughtful elephants, and were surrounded the room during the ritual, surrounded the house, the building they were in, just in this tiny room, all these elephants. But yeah, surrounded the building, and Harry fell asleep that night, and he survived. And when he woke up, his he could hear something. He seemed to be able to hear things a little better. He felt pretty strong. And he just felt like in the morning he could make the loudest just in the world. Yeah, and that's how he became Dr. Elephant.
All right, nice. That was good.
Thank you.
All right.
His powers obviously would be strength, communicating with elephants, maybe something along like it's Disney, so you can if they go to the MCU, it's Disney, so they can have Dumbo have him fly as well.
All right. Next up, Mr. Emoji.
Oh God, I hate it. So how he gets into the MCU is they're exploring the quantum realm. All right. Well, what they didn't realize is that on their way down, shrinking into the quantum realm, they could actually stop at a whole bunch of different sizes. Ant-Man got really good at controlling their exact size, including down to microscopic levels.
Okay.
And they got into the ability to travel through the digital world.
Okay.
And Scott Lang immediately was like, this is like the Emoji Movie. Okay, so they wanted that because, he's just Scott Lang, ridiculous. Right. They decided
he has a podcast in the MCU as well.
He does.
We found out in Miss Marvel that he does. So.
Yeah. Well, Scott Lang explored the digital world, became obsessed with emojis, how digital content looked at that size. And when he came back to the real size, like his human size, he spoke to Hank Pym about the potential creation of a digital being in this world, because he now knows what they're like at that size.
Sure. So Mr. Emoji is going to end up being like a synthetic creation.
Mr. Emote, exactly. Hank Pym thinks the idea is smart. They can shrink down and look at it, go back and forth if they need to study. They can shrink down and slow time to study it if they need to. And they eventually, just like Vision is created through artificial, except he has a stone, they use Pym technology to make Mr. Emoji. What was it?
Mr. Emoji, yeah.
Yeah, so they create Mr. Emoji.
Got it.
And
that's just what he goes by?
Yeah, and similar to Electro, he can control some electromagnetic currents.
Okay.
Except for him, he'd also be able to have like a modern style advantage of a superhero, maybe control what certain things say on different screens, control technology, maybe knock out communications,
control the news.
Right, like do all that.
Right.
Yeah, control the airwaves. And so Hank Pym obviously could profit on it if he want to sell that to a major company that could take over communications.
This guy could have a villainous side too.
He could.
With like Mr. Sinister, maybe. Mr. Sinister's evil.
Especially being created without, basically with just little knowledge of how that sort of life form would exist here.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Mr. Emoji.
Okay. All right. So we got two more.
Okay.
I was excited for this one.
These are all off the top of our heads. Joe did a generator. I've never heard any of these before.
So next up is Vacuum Man.
Yeah. Vacuum Man.
Yeah. Or Vacuum Woman. It could be. Let's go Vacuum Man.
Vacuum Man. Yeah. We'll go Vacuum Man. Yeah. We'll make sure the last one's female. I mean, Emoji is clearly genderless. They call him Mr. Emoji, but doesn't mean he has to be male.
Sure. Next one can definitely be female, so we'll do that.
So what was this one again?
Vacuum Man. Yeah.
This one's hard not to get cliche.
Dyson Hertz.
Right. Yeah, Mr. Emoji was just Mr. Emoji because it's creative. Yeah. That was a cheap way to get out of that. I didn't even think about that.
Let's go.
Raymond Lacombe. Okay. Raymond Lacombe. And
not to be confused with Remy LeBeau.
Yes. Yeah. Lacombe. Lecuum. Some people call him Lacombe, but Lacombe.
Okay.
It's French man.
Okay.
French man, like Eastern France.
Okay.
And For those of you that aren't familiar with the UK, there's like the little buddy vacuum that everybody has. Like it's this little red guy with the black hat. That's like the lid of the vacuum, and that's what everybody has. Like most people just, oh, everybody had that vacuum. Well, Mr. Lacombe
Forgot his
here,
first name already.
Raymond Lacombe wanted to create a competing vacuum. And while this seems like it's just, just regular capitalism, there's a monopoly and he's trying to fix it.
Sure.
Well, the little buddy vacuum is so huge and popular, we didn't know they have a whole other set of businesses they own and run that are actually major parts of the world. And they told Raymond they were going to buy him out, whether he wanted to or not, and that they had ways to make sure he'd disappear, but not necessarily kill him.
Sure.
Well, Raymond kept trying to sell this vacuum. Just like he didn't want the little buddy around. He didn't want that vacuum to be popular. He wanted his own vacuum to make waves. And they came after him. They came after him, and they actually used experimental technology on so they were working with Shield.
Okay.
Actually, it was Sword. Sorry, Sword. They were working with Sword on
pre possible corruption Sword, like
no, like around vision, around corruption Sword.
Okay.
And they were working with Sword on developing a vacuum technology for outer space, for like
sentient weapons, like Sword.
Potentially basically a otherworldly universal little buddy they can give to other creatures.
Sure.
Maybe replace it with a robot that could explode or spy on them.
All right.
So they were working with the little buddy owners on that. And with that technology, the sick, messed up villains that they are, they decided to take Raymond up to space because they're going to make him disappear.
Right.
And
what better way than have him drift in space?
He ends up fighting off and running. Obviously, where's he going to go? He's in like a space station. Where's he going to run to? Right. Runs and gets to like a storage unit where the chemicals they were using to create that otherworldly vacuum were like in there, and he ran in, closed the door, didn't realize that they were there, falls into them, and they get all over him, and he's get dumped like chemicals,
right,
all over him. And he becomes Vacuum Man as a reaction to those chemicals, because obviously they were designed for this otherworldly vacuum.
Right.
He gets extreme suction power that also allows him to, glide.
Sure.
His arms and legs become extendable. So like not necessarily stretch super far, but probably extend a little bit. So he has limitations there.
Right. And he can unhinge his jaw and
right. That was thinking the bottom, like how he can incorporate. And he can also blow. He doesn't just like he blows out at a high rate of volume. He can get it inside it, like create a tornado inside him and blow it out.
Okay.
Yeah. He calls it the Cyclone, I think.
Okay. Nice.
Dyson's.
Right. All right, last one. We're gonna make this female.
That was a tough one to not go. Just like I was like, try not to go radioactive chemicals. I was like, whatever. Right. I don't know what to do here.
This one you're gonna have to think a little bit.
Okay.
All right. The purple tissue.
The purple tissue.
Yeah.
Okay, so that sounds like it would have to be earthly. I wouldn't imagine another planet would call something like a tissue.
I'll give you all the rest of the things here. Okay, you could either do purple saxophone, purple tissue, purple preacher. That one could be cool. Purple trash or purple suck.
I like purple preacher. I think purple tissue is more challenging.
Right.
So there's this. So do we do like a superhero in New York here?
Is this a new street level?
Yeah.
Okay.
To
To join with Daredevil and Spider-Man as the street level heroes.
And so there's like a darker part of New York.
Kingpin territory. Hell's
Maybe.
Kitchen.
What isn't Kingpin territory?
Hell's Kitchen.
Somewhere darker. Strip clubs all over, dance clubs, where there's like 2 huge movie theaters in there for some reason.
Okay.
So there's that darker part, and in one of the strip clubs works a lady, and her name is, I was thinking Carla.
Okay.
What? I wish I knew more languages. I would love to know what like purple is in a bunch of different languages, and think of maybe some sort of variation that would sound good as a last name.
Sure. We'll go with Carla.
Yeah, but Carla something purple. Murata.
Murata, because she's female.
Yeah, so Carla Murata. You could even make her a Spanish woman as the character. And Carla Murata is a dancer at one of the clubs there. However, she has a lawyer friend that she knows that's
so she's been in trouble with the law before, possibly.
She's been had some trouble. She grew up with a really loving home, just happened to be in a bad part of town, so she had to struggle every day, but had a good together home. And and so she did get in trouble with the law, trying to keep things afloat at home, make sure everything's good in this area, trying to make ends meet. Maybe have to take a job as a dancer when you might not want to. And when you get in trouble with the law, you maybe have met Kingpin, sense of where you are, and you maybe
crossed
met
him at some point.
A lawyer that deals with Kingpin a lot, as well. And Carla happened to meet Charlie Cox's happened to meet Daredevil
Matt
at
Murdock.
I know. happened to meet Daredevil at some point, and then basically became double agent for we don't know who. If you don't know who, is she a double agent for Kingpin or Daredevil?
Okay. Like an Electro replacement almost.
Almost. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I could see that.
Sure.
And so she was already gifted athletically, being a good dancer. She was already smart because, working both sides and not being overly convincing to one or the other. And she knows a lot of people. She's obviously run into other people. And because she had to fight for herself, she also knows some combat. And she met with insert new character here who happens to run their own kind of rebellious form of combat group in the maybe they're defenders or something.
Okay.
Or whatever we want to call our street level people.
Right. Maybe heroes for hire.
It's something. She runs into a group like that want to train her in doing something more, doing something bigger than just the small town things for these thugs. Daredevil has it. Don't worry about it. Right. And so she accepts to get trained, and she gets brought in as the Purple Tissue. And she goes by the Purple Tissue because for when she was at the dance club, the placements of where all the chairs are always had like napkins that were purple. Right. It was just kind of like purple decorated. And the couple times where she had to assassinate somebody for either Kingpin or Daredevil, most likely more for Kingpin, she always left the purple tissue over their face.
Wow. Okay.
So she took the name Purple Tissue to remember her past as well as moving forward.
Got it. Beautiful. Carla
Murata. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's all I got. I used Dr. Mr. something man and then the color. So
Purple Tissue, Mr. Emoji,
Vacuum
Dr.
Man.
Elephant, and Vacuum Man.
Coming to a theater near you.
Warner Brothers would sign it to 7 movies.
Warner Brothers would
Film it all the way through.
Would film it all the way through and then cancel it in post-production.
Conan O'Brien tweeted out, "I'm really glad I didn't accept that Batgirl casting."
Yeah, and then they're like, HBO Max is a really popular streaming thing, but since Discovery like owns it, might get rid of it too. I don't know. It's just a mess. Just a mess.
They don't know what they're doing. Like, it's obviously they got
like
to where they are, but...
even if Batgirl sucks, okay, even if Batgirl sucks, you spent 70 to 90 million on it. So just release it. And even if you don't get anything back for, like, you're gonna get something.
You're not
back
gonna make
for
zero.
Like,
you're not gonna make zero.
Yeah. Okay. Let's like Morbius released twice. Morbius.
Yeah, and the second release it averaged $83 per theater.
Yeah. Okay. So it was on a budget of 75 mil, and it made 84 mil at the box office, like in the whatever. Okay, so they made their money back, but at the same time, like, even if it was a bad movie, like a bad comic book movie, they made some of their money back. Like, that's what matters. And more like for the Sony thing, I think they're setting up for possibly like an incursion happening, and you've got the Sony world hitting our world, or you have like the X-Men world with our world. I think that's what everything is kind of leaning to, is this incursion event, Secret Wars or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, Warner Brothers, I don't know. You might like
dumb as hell. Cancel Batgirl, but move forward with the Flash.
Here's the thing: they have to move forward with the Flash because the Flash was like 200 to 300 million budget. But even if Ezra is with all the trouble with the police and whatever, they're like, we have to release this movie because we spent $300 million on it. So it's just a mess, man.
Because it wasn't a large cinematic masterpiece or whatever they said.
Right.
That they meant their new set of Warner Brothers movies. They wanted to make into like cinematic masterpieces, or they said cinematic blockbusters, or they phrased it in some way, and they said that Batgirl wasn't that.
Yeah. Batgirl wasn't that. They're not moving forward with the Supergirl project, Supergirl movie or something like that. There's
another TV show that they just canceled. That was a superhero.
Flash
is going to be done.
Nice. Yeah.
But there was a new one that they were going to release that has been canceled.
Gotham Knights is apparently still going, and that's looked like absolute trash. Nobody wants that.
Well, Warner Brothers keeps making the wrong decisions. So
in this world where Batman is dead and all of the villains' kids are trying to figure out like.
So it's all the same villains. It's just a bunch of new.
It's like Joker's son or Joker's daughter, and
right. So they're just like them.
It's I don't know. It's just
it sounds bad.
It does sound bad.
You created new heroes, but you're still repurposing villains.
Yeah. But some positive news come out of Warner Brothers, and this has to do. It's not part of the DCEU at all. Joker Folie Deux or something like that.
Yeah.
Joker 2.
Lady Gaga is probably going to be Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Which, it's not set in the DCEU, which I'm okay with.
Me too. My wife had a bunch of expletives about how excited she was about that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. You're not trying to compare it with anything, really. Like, I don't know. There's
trying
nothing to
make it
to. It's
a movie that's more like DCEU would take away from what made the first one good.
Right.
Instead, they're going to keep doing what they were doing for the second one and still make another good movie. Just don't attach it.
Yeah, it's not attached to DCEU. I still would have liked if they could have combined, if they could have made after the Joker storyline, like he kind of inspired a movement, like a Joker movement, and then Barry Keoghan's Joker was someone in that movement. That's what I would have liked to kind of tie it into the universe, because Batman was like 8 in that movie. Like
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne was like 8 in the Joker movie. And so, yeah, that's what I would have liked. But just Batman's going to be a separate thing.
Joker's gonna be its thing.
Joker is going to be a separate thing. And the only thing coming out of DCEU that is good is the fact that James Gunn is making Peacemaker. So Peacemaker season 2, Peacemaker season 2. He's sticking with that suicides, whatever.
Yep.
And Matt Reeves is making his Penguin series, but it was supposed to go to HBO Max, and now we don't know what's going on with HBO Max. So I don't know. DCEU is a mess. I think they should just hit the reset button and have, I don't know.
See, well, that's what we said we didn't want them to do, is like full reset, but now they have to full reset.
They have to. And like, you make your own, like, if you want to go forward, like, you have Batman established, right? Like, you have Batman established. That's like, keep it like that. Keep it like you've got Batman established. Go make a different Superman. Like, give someone else another opportunity to play Superman.
Yep.
Make a new Aquaman. Make a new Wonder Woman. Shazam and Black Adam technically could stay the same.
Yeah, since we haven't seen them yet, really.
Like, they haven't been in with anything. Like, they haven't been in anything.
Right, you can still put them in anything.
Right.
No matter who you choose as Batman, Superman, you can still put them in.
Yeah. Like, at the end of Shazam, they had like the nerdy kid that's not Shazam, like the brother. Like, they had Batman and Superman like show up to the lunch, but you don't see the heads.
Yeah.
So you don't know who's casted as them.
Yeah, exactly.
Them. So
Shazam could stay.
Yeah. Shazam could stay. Black Adam could stay. It's, I don't know. But yeah. DC EU is a
fix
mess.
Itself. Get fixed. Please.
Just so bad.
Yeah. Did we have anything else?
Just She-Hulk. Our
She-Hulk.
anticipation for She-Hulk.
She-Hulk's gonna be good. I'm excited for it. We talked about it a lot last week.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm
She-Hulk
excited.
emoji season.
Yeah. I'm excited for the fourth wall breaks. That's probably gonna be my favorite thing there. Just depending on who shows up, because there's been a lot of rumors about who can show up.
And as long as the fourth wall breaks stay to like not a whole bunch.
Right.
Like they can be there, but I hope just not.
You've seen 2 of them in the trailer where she's like, he doesn't mean that. And then she looks and then she's like, and then Bruce is like,
right.
And then the one where she's like texting, she's like, I'm not proud of this, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
No,
No,
we won't. It was also pushed to Thursdays.
Yeah, which I'm okay with because Andor is coming out end of August, the 31st.
I don't think I'll be watching Andor.
Yeah, that's okay. But Andor is the 31st, which would have been a Wednesday, so they didn't want to double up on that.
Right. You know, Miss Marvel proved that that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So that was a fun segment. That was good. We talked about some good stuff. I liked the coming up with those. That was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be it for us from us for this week. First try. Yeah. So let us know what you thought about those wonderful characters. Would you watch 3 movies, a trilogy for each of those characters? I would tell you my answer, but I want to hear yours first.
So I had Suck on here, and I wish I got like Dr. Suck or something.
Dr. Suck goes by the name of Johnny Sins on Earth.
Saxophone Man. Mr. Trash.
Mr. Trash.
Purple Preacher would have been.
Yeah.
Mr. Trash is just what my league teammates call me.
Anyway, thanks everybody. You all look great today. GG.
GG.